Hello, my name is Margaret Adele, and I just now decided to do this video. Now, it's not a surprise that my Instagram presence is not that great. I tend to post a lot when I feel like it and then not touch the app for weeks, because for me it's more like a fun scrapbook of ideas rather than a platform that I am trying to build to go somewhere with. But I realized lately that I kind of dropped the ball when it came to bookstagramming the physical copies of indie books that I've been sent. These books are often the only way that an indie author can get their name out there, and they send them to me at a cost to themselves, more so than the indie authors that send me like PDFs or Mobies. So I wanted to give them a little bit more love and try a little bit harder at my Bookstagram. I'm not going to turn my personal Instagram into a Bookstagram. I low-key thought about starting a new account, but also, So I'm just gonna have fun giving some more love to some indie books that haven't seen a lot of love on my Instagram page yet. And so I am going to do one Instagram post a day for a book for 7 days. Now, would it have been smarter to start this on a Monday and go through a Sunday? Yeah, it's Thursday and I don't want to wait. So this is what we're gonna do. Anyway, if you are interested in checking out my Instagram, it's literally the same as my Twitter, so I will have that linked down in the description. I don't plan on doing this a lot, and I also don't plan on doing the classic Bookstagram style. I'm not really a fan of those pictures where it's the book, but also a ton of little things around the book, because I look at that and I'm like, wow, that took a lot of time to put together, and why do you just have that many knickknacks sitting around? Or else I kind of just glance at it and move on in my feed so that I never really see the sheer number of things that are in there. My personal style is a little bit more subdued. It's one book that is the center shot, and it's kind of a thematic background or thematic thing. I've done some things with my flower crown or candles, that kind of thing, and that's probably what I'm gonna stick with here. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, so one of the first books that I'm going to bookstagram was actually the inspiration for doing this, and that is Out of the Pantry by Ronnie Robinson. This is a memoir about the author's struggle with compulsive overeating and her rehabilitation from that. So I'm kind of lost on exactly what I want to do with this, because I want to reference what it's about in the background without being overt. So my thinking is that I low-key kind of want to put it in the kitchen in a way, but not have open food sitting there. So I'll have to figure this one out. Alright, I think I finally got that one. I thought about putting it in there with foodstuffs, but I don't really have the sweets that the author talks about struggling with, and also, again, it's I wanted to be indicative without sipping over, and also I didn't want to have to deal with brand names, so I took everything out and I went with an empty pantry, aka a cabinet, because it also matched the color scheme of the cover itself. So here is our final Bookstagram photo, and I am really happy with it. I will check in with you tomorrow for the next one and to see how well this one did, but I'm already feeling really happy with this. I think this is going to be a fun project. Alright, it is officially day 2 of my 7-day challenge, the last day of July, and for this one I am going to be doing a Bookstagram photo of Calico Thunder Rides Again by T.A. Hernandez. I actually didn't get the physical copy of this until after the review. I had done the review and my husband was actually listening in and said that he wanted to read it, but he doesn't like reading digital. And I was just talking to the author and I just mentioned that in passing, and she goes, "Oh, I can send you a physical copy." I was like, seriously? Awesome, because I love this cover. Look at how vibrant it is. So we're going to need to do a nice vibrant background with it. I think I'm going to pull out one of my nice brightly colored skirts as a fabric background, and we'll see what we can do with that. So I tried the picture with the little lizard toy, but it just wasn't working. And I looked back at another picture that I'd taken without it, and it seemed more dynamic. And then, of course, you gotta use the right filters. So this is the picture that I ended up with. I'm very happy with it. And also, I just remember that Indie August starts tomorrow. I totally forgot August is Indie August. And since these are indie books, I'm going to start using that hashtag. So maybe that'll help get this a little bit more off the ground. But regardless, I'm still having fun. This is enjoyable. And I hope to continue to have more muse because it's been easy so far. But I'm really nervous that like later on this week it's going to get harder. It is day 3, and I called it. I'm already struggling with muse because while I have so many books that I want to feature on my Bookstagram, I don't have a lot of ideas for backgrounds and stuff, as opposed to just picking random stuff that matches the color of the cover, which isn't always the best choice. So I finally figured out which one I want to do, and that is Only Words by Summer Kiscott. This has technically been on my Instagram before, but it was the thumbnail for my review of this, which is a while back at this point. But because this has a kind of like more urban vibe, I'm literally just gonna go outside and use my driveway as the backdrop and hope it still looks interesting enough. I've thought about maybe if there's something else I can add to it, but there's not a lot, so I'm just just kind of going with it at this point and hoping these are still interesting enough. That actually went better than expected. We have a bush right next to the driveway that created some cool kind of like dappled shadow lighting, and with the right filter, it looks pretty dark and dramatic like the story. So here is our final product, but I'm a little bit worried for the rest of the week because I still got 4 days to go for this, and I'm like already struggling. I might actually have to like go somewhere and like get a cool background somewhere else, and I have some ideas. I just gotta get my husband on board with it, but I will check in with you tomorrow. Hello, it is day 4, and we actually have a quick wrestling show to go to today. I will be wearing a mask. It is outside. But I was like, oh crap, I'm not going to have time to do my Bookstagram photo today. I don't know when I can do it. But then I was like, let's try. So I'm going to bring a book to a wrestling show. I brought my big purse because I'm already going to bring the book I'm actually reading. And I have no idea what the venue actually looks like. So I'm picking one that has like a general vibe that I think would probably work with a wrestling show. And that is Chasing Danger by Richard C. White. I mean, this is like a 1940s fantasy noir, but like the cover is kind of more like dark and urban looking, and it's an outside show at a brewery. I may or may not be taking another book just in case to see, and if I end up doing something else, I'll let you know. But it seems like a fun opportunity to get a new kind of thing up there. So let's hope this goes well. So I ended up actually going with the alternate book I brought with me, and that was No Water for the Desert by Brittany Buckner. This is a hard-hitting contemporary, and it's actually really topical because it's a Black author. So I really liked how the kind of like dustiness and aridness of the basically empty lot we were in matched the like setting of the book, because it takes place like in an actual desert and the heat is a big thing, and it didn't really fit with the other book. But that also means that I still have that book to do. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for tomorrow. I'm not really going much of anywhere. I'm leaving the house like once or twice, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to try again tomorrow. But also, because I didn't want it to just look like an empty lot, I have a little clip of the actual wrestling show for you as a treat. Alright, right, it is day 5 of the Instagram challenge, and the only place I'm going today is with the little to her therapy appointment, where I will be sitting in the car the whole time because COVID regulations, no one can be in the waiting room. And at first I was like, oh, I could do something with the building because it's a nice, like, stately red brick building, but I don't really have any books that, like, match that vibe. And also it low-key, you know, feels weird using the little therapy building for a Bookstagram photo. So I decided that I'm going to do one of those kitschy cliche, like, buckle up your loved ones in the car, but using Monstrosity by Laura Diaz de Arce. She is one of my absolute closest friends of all the indie authors that I've ever reviewed. She actually sent me this book after I'd already reviewed the e-copy, which actually happens a lot. I've had like multiple times where I will have reviewed the e-copy and then gotten a physical copy later. But I also think that this is like her kind of humor, and I also just like love this book cover. I just got to make sure that I can do it in a way that doesn't like cover it up because it is absolutely fantastic. I'm still kind of bummed I didn't get to wave it around during the review, but let's see if I can actually make this work. Okay, so the seatbelt really wasn't working because it was too big of a picture, and when I tried to like zoom out to get the full seatbelt in, you didn't get the full like worth of the cover itself. So then I realized that it was very sunny and my shadows like of my hands were very like crisp. So I'm like, okay, let's do something a little bit creepy so that it looks like a hand is like coming out for the book. And I don't know that translated very well, but here is the final picture. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of happy that there's only 2 days left of this because like very close to running out of ideas entirely. This is why I don't Bookstagram regularly, or when I do, it's very simplistic, like book on a wooden backdrop, done. But it's been fun. 2 more days left to go. This is a great first video for Indie August. So I hope I can keep my muse up, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Alright, it is day 6, and I already had an idea of what one I wanted to do, but I didn't have it yet. And I just opened it today, and that is Dusk Mountain Blues by Dustin J. Munden. This is the second review copy I've gotten from the author. I also read his other book, Tavern, but that's been on my Instagram like a couple times at this point, I think. So I wanted to do this one. It is a sci-fi western, which I'm super excited for. I just hope the world building is a little easier to understand in this one, and also that the people on this hidden planet are as much rednecks as I'm hoping they are. But anyway, I was like racking my brain trying to think of like, what backgrounds do I have? I don't just want to do another cloth background, but what could I do instead? And I'm trying all these different things, and then I realized, without intending to, I dressed to match the book today. So I'm like, okay, do I have the confidence to do this? Because I've been trying to force myself to take more like full body shots, or like body shots that are lower than like a normal selfie, as part of like my body positivity thing. So I was like, okay, I'll try it. And, well, I'll show you. So yeah, it actually looked pretty cute and it went really well. This is the final picture, and I'm really proud of myself for doing it. I probably won't be taking a lot of pics like that a lot, but it was fun, and I'm a little bit less terrified. And also, I'm happy to do this for Dustin, not only because he's been such a long-time Twitter mutual of mine, but also he's got way more online presence than me, and he's one of those authors where when I put up the review for his first book, I literally got like several subscribers off that review alone, so I'm not mad to help shout him out a little bit more. But we only got 1 more day to go, so I feel like I should do something big, but my muse is almost shot, so let's hope I am remusified tomorrow. Hello, it is day 7, the final day, and I really could not think of anything big to do, so we're just gonna close this out on another standard Bookstagram picture. And for this one, I wanted to do one that I've actually wanted to do the whole week, which is I want a book that's like sitting up against the tree in our backyard, and it's a nice sunny day. So I was thinking of like, okay, what book would look good like up against a tree with grass around? And so I went with Unicorn Hunting by A.R. Hellbender, also known as Roya Hellbender. She is another booktuber on the site and one of the only ones that not only reviews other indie books, but has also read at least one book in my favorite fantasy series. So for that reason alone, I feel a connection. But this one is about a unicorn hunter, and it takes place in the woods, I believe, or at least that's where unicorns reside. So like the tree theme kind of works here. I just hope that it doesn't look stupid and that all the shade that the tree actually like has over the ground works with me. But if nothing else, I need to get to this one soon anyway, so this will be a reminder to check my list. So it took me a couple tries because I didn't realize in the first couple pics I took that the orange of my dress was actually reflecting in the book, making it look like weird orangish reddish when I didn't mean to. And I also found out that there's a cool little like V that I could put the book in and the tree like on top, but it didn't quite match the vibe I was going for. It was a little bit too grungy, so I ended up going with my regular one. But here is the final product. I'm super happy with it. I'm super happy that I got 7 Bookstagram videos, or rather 7 Bookstagram pictures done in a week. It was a lot of fun. I'm not going to be that regular with my Bookstagram. Maybe I'll do another one of these just to remind myself to keep at it. But thank you so much for watching. Again, if you would like to check out my Instagram for yourself, it is at Margaret_Adele, the same as my Twitter. And with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.